Hello dear viewers, today is the time for a jack of all trades build inspired by Andromeda standing stones. We will kill 2 stones with 1 stone today, merging the tower and the steed in 1 character. The build is called the Explorer, and free exploration and completing side quests will be the main focus of the playthrough. You will need some unique items to make the build function properly. This includes shields, an amulet, at least 2 staffs, and so on and so on. The end result of all these efforts will be a miracle of flexibility, a character switching between all combat styles with great ease. You will also need quite a few mods, and here is the list. A few Summermyst enchantments, namely Fortify Speed and Triptych attributes, will add some silver lining to the main mechanics of the build, fortifying all attributes and increasing the already impressive movement speed of unarmored characters. Apocalypse will help in combat with some unique alteration and restoration spells. Obviously, we will use Okato's Recital to cast armor spells with no cost at the start of each battle. We will need Morningstar minimalistic races to get the Endurance Redguard ratio ability to sprint faster and for longer. Campfire adds some cool details to the exploration game, such as tents and, well, campfires. But also a walking stick. A walking stick will be a very important part of the build. I am not even kidding. Well, actually, I am kidding. I have no idea how to make it useful, but I used it anyway. Alright? Frostfall makes Campfire even more fun, but of course, you could just use the survival mode of Special Edition. You know, you could. Why would you? But yeah, okay. Honed metal should be used if you don't want to invest in smithing, as without the skill the build might have quite a hard time on higher difficulties. Bandolier will help with carrying around all the items, but after some exploration we will have access to an infinite bag of holding, so it is pretty optional. Lastly, for aesthetic purposes, you could use common clothes. Let's start with the attributes, and we will need a perfectly equal spread of level ups between the 3. We will increase all 3 with items, so the end result should be a character who is kind of good at everything. Through the magic of Ethereal Crown, we will use 2 Andromeda standing stones. In Andromeda, the steed is designed mainly to help exploration, and it actually really helps a character like this to free roam Skyrim without much commitment in questlines. Sprinting and running out of combat will be easier than it is possible in vanilla, so it's just perfect if you'd like to never use fast travel, or at least use it very scarcely, which I would recommend for this character. The Tower Stone, on the other hand, will give you a repeatable quest for some amazing loot. It will encourage exploration and throw a lot of valuable items at you. You will need quite a few Summermyst enchantments, so that can be one way of obtaining them. For the race, a Redguard can be a great choice, because the Endurance ability will further improve your exploration, but also can be useful for repeating sprint charge attacks, which you will do quite a lot. Alternatively, since the build is a little bit perk hungry and requires around 55 perk points to complete, you could opt for an Imperial. They get 2 additional perk points in Morningstar. This character perks a lot of skills but masters none. As a house rule, I decided never to unlock a final perk in any skill and never use spells above adept level. With your stats and gear, you don't really need mastery though. So the main skills will be as follows. In one-handed, you need 5 ranks of Armsman, Fighting Stance and Critical Charge. This is more than enough to be a successful fighter, assuming you have a sword with a decent enchantment. In block, take the left-hand branch up to block runner. Mobility is a vital part of the combat style, and you really don't need to be slowed down with your shield raised. Only one rank of shield wall is necessary, as you will increase your block value through alchemy. In archery, take all the ranks of overdraw and go left hand side up to quick shot. Maybe, if you're a little bit clumsy, like me, take one rank of steady hand too. Quick shot should enable a bit of combat archery, although we will engage in sneaky archery too, and because our investment in sneak will be just enough to do it quite well. So obviously take 5 ranks of stealth, backstab, deadly aim, and then everything to the left up to silent roll. Silent roll will let you move swiftly and sprint charge from the shadows. With all the ranks of stealth, muffle spell and ghost walk spell, you should be a perfect assassin too, and a thief. Alteration will be used mainly for low-level utility spells and armor spells. That means you only need the adept perk, all the ranks of mage armor and all the ranks of magic resistance. This perk spread means that with a simple iron flesh spell and a good shield, your armor rating will be at nearly 300, which, considering your amazing mobility, is enough to make you stand your ground against most enemies. The magic resistance perk paired with Shield of Solitude will give you 60% magic resistance, which can be improved further with alchemy, so that you can destroy those pesky mages with ease. In Restoration, you need specialization perks up to Adept, Regeneration and Respite. Respite assures you will always have some stamina available. Optionally, you could also take 1 rank in Recovery. This helps every character with equal attribute spreads to stay relevant in the late game. Alchemy will improve your versatility a lot. For sword and board combat, you will use Fortify Block, Health and one-handed potions. For archery, Fortify Marksman. For thievery, Fortify Sneak, and so on and so forth. Keep your stock of Fortify skill potions quite full. It's all what I'm saying, alright? You need all ranks of Alchemist, Physician and Benefactor perks. You will also use some skills that are not perked but very helpful, mainly Illusion and Lockpicking. Train Illusion as much as you can, because that low-level Ghost Walk spell combined with Muffle will make you undetectable pretty early in the game, at least for 10 seconds. Lockpicking will be very helpful in looting all these Tower Stone quest chests. Don't put perks in it, just fortify it with a potion. If for whatever reason you don't want to use the Honed Metal mod, a few perks in smithing will be necessary too, mainly the Arcane Blacksmith perk. As for the items, you will need to craft yourself a walking stick with Campfire crafting. It gives you 10 points of stamina. Wow! And add the best sword you can find, a good flesh spell, and you're basically a warrior. As you travel through the land of Skyrim, you accumulate specialized sets of items for different tasks. So, for example, for a straight face-to-face combat, you should go for Goldur's Blackblade and the Shield of Solitude. Goldur's Blackblade in its best variant absorbs 25 points of health per hit, which is helpful to a fighter with relatively low health. Speaking of which, use the Galdur's Amulet too, so all your attributes are increased by 30 points, and add a Summermyst enchantment on the top of that. The enchantment in question is found on generic items of Golden Triptych, which fortifies all 3 attributes if they are already fortified by other enchantments. Easily, you can get to plus 80 to all 3 attributes. Against the undead, you might want to have the Dawnbreaker and the Dawnguard Rune Shield. I know the latter is related to a questline, but it is a side quest of Dawnguard faction, and after obtaining it, you won't need progress any further into the questline. Very good, very well, just get it, it's great. Right. For archery, especially combat archery, I would recommend getting the black bow. of Fate with its amazing enchantment giving you a chance to absorb a random attribute on hit. There is even a small chance of absorbing all three. You may even find a separate bow for the sneak kills, like the bow of the Stag Prince, and wear Summermyst's Ring of Snake to increase the multiplier of sneak attacks. If you really want, that is. I mean, why would you? But you can. Then you will use some magic too, and for the mage mode I'd advise to get the Sanguine's Rose to have a powerful summon on your side, and a Staff of Paralysis combined with Poison Rune spell to control the field of battle in a very cost-effective way. Other staffs and scrolls can be very useful too, especially when you fortify your magic skills with a potion. Here is a list of the most helpful spells. They are all adept or lower. If you store Iron Flesh and 3 leaves in Okato's recital, you will start each combat with decent AR and additional HP. Wither and Strength of the Earth are perfect for a spell sword or a battle mage, so I guess this playstyle is also covered under this build. Circle of Strength and Circle of the Moons should be used consecutively, especially when facing waves of medium strength enemies the game likes to throw at you in some boss fights. Best case scenario, you can use your spells to increase your durability, absorb stamina and magicka, slow down your enemies and reduce damage taken with Wither spell, and give yourself a boost to 1 melee attack with Strength of the Earth. And finally, you can be a very successful assassin if you stay hidden, scan the next room with Detect Life, and then use Muffle and Ghost Walk, that cool spell that gives you invisibility for 10 seconds, and when it is broken it teleports you back to the position you were when casting it. I don't think I could ever squeeze more build ideas into one, honestly. With the proper gear and Apocalypse mod, your explorer will be able to take on any challenge. Just in case, though, remember to have a faithful hound at your side. Miko seems to be a good choice, since he doesn't require money or joining any faction. Remember about eating some healthy stews and a vegetable soup from time to time too. Oh, and in the case of dragons, you might wanna hire a tanky mercenary, just to stay on the safe side. Remember about your potions to improve any skills needed for your combat styles of choice. And you should be good, more than good. And that is it for today. A build designed for the exploration of the land, discovering secrets, hoarding items and all the like. Never did anything like this before in Skyrim, so do let me know what you think. Give me a comment or a like or not, it's up to you, but it doesn't hurt. Hope you will have fun with this one and we will see each other again. Bye bye.